Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. This one's packed because we're breaking down 4 separate sovereign citizen cases where 4 different judges shut the arguments down fast and decisively. Each clip shows the same pattern colliding with real courtroom authority, including a familiar repeat offender who's about to learn, once again, that fantasy law doesn't survive contact with reality. We're starting in Florida with our first case, where the tone is set immediately. So let's get into it.
State your name, sir.
Mr. Fox, for the court charge of possession of paraphernalia and a no valid driver's license. You understand the charges?
You understand what you're charged with?
No?
No.
No. She doesn't understand. Allegedly, you had methamphetamine on or about your person, and allegedly, it may have been contained within something that qualifies, aka a clear plastic bag, that qualifies as paraphernalia in the state of Florida. And allegedly, you were operating a motor vehicle without allegedly having a driver's license. You understand that?
I understand the driver's license, yes, sir.
Okay, well,
Possession.
I didn't say it was yours. Did I say it was yours? I said you've been charged with.
Right.
Nobody's asking if you did it. I'm just asking if you understand what the charge is.
No.
Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay, then we'll bring you back tomorrow when you understand.
I was hoping I'm not from this state. This county. If I can just resolve everything today.
You got a parole hold. You wouldn't get out anyway.
You got nowhere to go, man. So, do you understand the charges against you or not?
I understand they charging me with it, yes, sir.
That's all you got. See how easy that is? I don't know why do we have to go back and forth
It's
about
not
it?
easy when you're in my shoes, sir.
It's easy it's a yes or no question. Do you understand?
I don't agree to the
Nobody's
contract.
asking you to admit to anything. I just need to make sure you understand the charge.
I'm a private citizen, sir.
I'm shocked
Under
you're
UCC bubbles.
Oh, UCC?
I'm a private citizen.
Oh, I love it. A sovereign. Golly Moses, I love
I
that.
genuinely enjoy covering this judge. He's easily one of the most entertaining ones I've come across. And every time he's on the bench, he delivers sharp, intelligent remarks that cut straight through courtroom nonsense. He doesn't waste words. He doesn't grandstand. And when someone tries to play games in front of him, he responds with a level of wit and clarity that makes the outcome both instructive and satisfying to watch.
Mr. Fox, crap in one hand, hope in the other, and see if that helps. Bond said at 5,000 on the meth, 1,000 paraphernalia, 500 on the driver's license, which oddly enough, the Supreme Court said you do need to drive. Court date is February the 17th at 9 o'clock, but you're not going anywhere because you got that probate or that parole.
Step to your right. So the team.
Mr. Fox, when you sue me, make sure you spell it with 2 N's. I want to make sure that the AG's office gets involved.
You don't have to worry about that, sir. I'm peaceful.
Sign where the light is for your copy of that. Next.
All right, that was a solid way to kick things off after the holidays. And by the way, I hope you had a great Christmas and a smooth start to the new year. Now we're moving on to our next stop, heading over to Bothell, where we encounter another self-declared sovereign citizen who openly refuses to recognize the law. This one quickly turns into a textbook example of how that mindset collides with reality. So let's get into it and see how it plays out.
Off the 11 o'clock calendar. Mr. Calzada, could you please turn on your video for me?
Yeah, hold on one second.
All right, good morning, Mr. Calzada. You're here for arraignment, so could you please tell me your full legal name?
I don't know how that has anything to do with the case. My name.
Well, Mr. Calzada, I need to confirm who you are. So could you
Here
please
I
tell
am.
me? Well,
I'm here
please tell me
physically present, right?
Mr. Calzada, could you please, what is your first name?
My first name? Well, it could be anything, right? I could change my name at will, right?
All right. I'm going to set this matter over for an in-person arraignment, and Mr. Lohr, you'll have law enforcement standing by. All right?
Well, there you are.
All right. So, Mr. Calzada, I will set this over. You will appear in person at the Bothell Municipal Court for arraignment.
I don't even consent to that.
And yet, despite all that resistance, you're still required to show up, which is always the most ironic part, isn't it? It's funny how obligations don't disappear just because someone refuses to acknowledge them. And honestly, the delivery alone makes it harder to take seriously, because the tone sounds oddly cartoonish, like someone imitating a character rather than presenting a coherent argument. It's another moment where theatrics replace substance, and the contrast between confidence and credibility becomes impossible to ignore.
I didn't even consent to. I was gonna go there today, and you guys were all doing Snohomish County prisoners. It's pretty busy, huh? The sheriff even said it's pretty busy. The court has to file a 1099-C. How you file a 1099-C for that bond? You don't need voter approval for that, don't you? Those bonds. How much are the bonds?
Mr. Calzada, I'm going to set this to December 31st at 1:30 in the Bothell Municipal Court in person. You will need to be there for arraignment, okay? So I will see you in person at the Bothell Municipal Court at that time, all right?
Looks like there's no free will then.
So
then what am I doing here then? Hold on, what am I doing here?
Well, right now you are not responding to my questions. So
Well, you're not responding to any of my I don't have a problem of answering any of your questions, but I have a couple questions first. I have to understand too. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know everything. I'm not perfect.
Yeah, no one's perfect. That part's true. But this isn't about missing a few details or lacking total knowledge. This is about operating from a place of complete misunderstanding, where confidence exists without comprehension, and every statement only reinforces how little awareness is actually there. It's not that you don't know everything. It's that nothing you're saying shows any grasp of reality, logic, or the situation you're standing in. And that gap is exactly what keeps tripping you up.
In person so that we can be sure that you understand what's
All right, great. I'm glad. It's definitely implied, isn't it? It's not expressed. It's implied.
December 31st at 1:30 in person.
December 31st at 1:30, I'll be there.
All right, that wraps up that segment. I stuck around on the 31st, waiting for his next appearance. But either he didn't bother to show up, or it never made it online. Given that Bothell usually posts most of their hearings, the odds are he skipped it. And if that's the case, the process is simple. A bench warrant follows, and he'll be back whether he likes it or not. With that chapter closed, we move on to Judge Slavin's courtroom, where a familiar face returns, Eric Martin, a repeat offender and longtime crowd favorite whose courtroom performances continue to earn him unwanted recognition for all the wrong reasons.
Ms. Sobe, you're here on the Martin matter, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Let's go have a conversation outside.
He'll be assistant. Okay, so everyone,
all right, today is the date and time set for a hearing in this matter with regard to a bond violation. This is case 242448 SM. People versus Eric Martin. Everybody hear me?
yes, good morning, Judge. Donna Sobe on behalf of the people, P87439.
Morning, Your Honor. James Gazicki on behalf of Mr. Martin, Your Honor. I have a motion to make.
All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, I was making a motion to withdraw. I've had contact with Mr. Martin before in other matters, and there's no attorney-client communication in this matter. We're talking about different things, and there's just no way of moving forward that I could adequately represent him, Your Honor. So I'm asking to withdraw.
All right, your motion to withdraw is granted. Mr. Martin, would you like a different court-appointed attorney?
Yeah, I guess so, since he shows his willingness not to want to do his job and help me out, and he's misstating, making false statements here, talking about there's a lack of communication. It certainly ain't on my part. I was pointing out to him relevant defenses. He just didn't want to do his job. That's clear what he made of me, so.
Mr. Martin, I have found Mr. Gazicki to be a very competent individual, a very competent attorney in many, many cases. I've seen many trials, hearings, motions, practicing in front of this court, and I find him to be very competent. If you make one more negative comment about him, I'll hold you in contempt of court. I don't do that. We don't act like this isn't the Jerry Springer show. This isn't going to be a bunch of name calling. You're going to knock it off. Knock it off, Mr. Martin. I'm done with everything and you keep doing all of your little negative comments, things that you want to say about people. And you think you're the smartest person in the room and that you have some sort of special juris doctorate, I guess, from somewhere. I don't.
Right, because apparently he earned his law degree from some imaginary institution. And Judge Slavin has clearly reached the end of his patience with these recycled sovereign-style arguments. From their last exchange, it's obvious the judge isn't interested in indulging theatrics or fantasy law anymore. He's focused on restoring order, protecting the court's time, and ensuring the process moves forward without disruption. At this point, the priority is accountability and closure, even if that means enforcing consequences firmly and giving everyone else in the room the calm and stability that comes when nonsense finally meets a hard stop.
But you don't have the first clue when it comes to things, and you talk about that. And so Mr. Gazicki is saying that he's trying to talk to you about actual legal defenses, and you're trying to bring up some kind of other stuff. And so I'm going to grant his motion. Do you want? All I asked you was this. I didn't ask you to give me a commentary about Mr. Gazicki or what you think he can do, because I've always seen him to do his job every single time he does a file. What I want to know is, do you want another court-appointed attorney, or are you representing yourself? That's it. It's a simple question. Answer simple questions. That's what you needed to start doing, is answering the questions.
Yep, one another attorney, but I don't want to state also that if it was recorded, that we would say it would support my allegations.
Boom, time out. Nope, not hearing it. The question is this: do you want another court-appointed attorney? So you're either going to say yes, court-appointed attorney, or represent yourself. What is your answer here today? Because there's only two possible answers here. You either get another attorney, or you can represent yourself if you'd like, or if you want to hire your own attorney, you can do that. So there's three things. Are you going to get one appointed, yourself, or retained? Those are the three possible answer choices. What are you going with?
Yes, another appointed one, but without.
All right, there you go. Don't need any more commentary. Don't need any more commentary about it. You have a right to remain silent. You can exercise that right now. So we're going to appoint another court-appointed attorney to you. And the individual who was here as your attorney during your trial, you seem to get along pretty well with him. You want me to reach out to see if he's available?
I don't know who you're referring to.
The guy who was here at your trial. I don't know his last name.
Oh, he's on the other trial.
Yeah, the other trial. Not this case. This is the misdemeanor domestic violence case. I'm talking about your driving on a suspended license case. Restricted.
Well, I mean, he did, for the most part, I won't say for the most part, maybe for the most part, but there's some things he didn't do neither. He didn't raise my right to travel defense, so.
Yes or no, yes or no. Is he somebody that you think you can get, you can communicate well with?
I guess we'll give him a try, I guess, yeah.
Sure. All right, I'm going to appoint, reach out and see if we can see if he's available. So let's appoint,
But now, Slayton, I have some questions for you before you move forward.
All right, so we're going to set that. We're going to set that for a hearing date, and we'll see you then.
Hold on.
I won't sugarcoat it. I have zero patience for this behavior, not because of labels or theories, but because anyone who believes a court has no authority to order them to stop harassing their own family is completely detached from reality, and the consequences that followed were both predictable and avoidable. With that said, we move to our final case, staying in Michigan and heading into Magistrate Hayes' courtroom, where another sovereign-style script is rolled out and immediately dismantled with clear facts and zero theatrics. This clip comes from the old Squishy Gardner channel, which consistently highlights some of the most baffling courtroom moments out there. So if you're as interested in these legal breakdowns as I am, it's absolutely worth checking out and showing some support.
Good afternoon. My name is David Heiss. I'm an attorney magistrate. We are scheduled for an informal hearing in two different cases that arise out of one citation. And those two cases are both entitled The People of the City of Battle Creek versus Roosevelt LaShawn Williams. Is that your name, sir?
That is my name.
Basically, what happens is you were issued one citation. It had two violations listed on it, so it became two different cases, one with an A and one with a B at the end. But we have one informal hearing scheduled for both of those cases because they both arise out of the same transaction, so to speak. And I guess, Officer Kellums, is there anything before I begin?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Williams, you're here because you were issued a citation. And in each of those two cases, so for each of those violations, you have three possible responses to the citation. You can first admit responsibility, be assessed the fines and costs, and be done with it. You could, as a second option, admit responsibility with an explanation, hoping that the explanation would cause the court to decrease the fines and costs a little bit. Or you can deny responsibility and have your hearing. It's my understanding that as to both cases, you wished to deny responsibility. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, here's how the hearing works. First of all, I guess I should read the citation. In the case ending with the letter A, it's alleged that back on November 19th of 2024, you were over at Fountain Street near Meacham Avenue in the city of Battle Creek, and you were issued a citation for not being able to provide a proof of insurance. This is a civil infraction. If you were found responsible, all other things being equal, the court would assess $125 fines, costs, and fees. It is a 0-point ticket. And in the second case that ends with the letter B, that same date, time, and place, you were issued a citation for having an expired registration plate. That is also a civil infraction. It is also a 0-point civil infraction. If you were found responsible, all other things being equal, the court would assess $110 fines, costs, and fees. So first question, is that the ticket or the two cases that you thought you were appearing about, Mr. Williams?
It is.
Okay, and same question to you, Officer Kellums?
Yes, sir.
Very good. In every civil case, the plaintiff has the burden of proof, and in a case like this, that burden of proof is called by a preponderance of evidence.
Only question I have is, will the laws of the U.S. Supreme Court be applicable? And the federal statutes and definitions of motor vehicle and automobile be applicable in this proceeding?
They are the state of Michigan laws that will be applicable.
Okay. The other question is, are you already not bound by U.S. Supreme Court rulings?
Every court is bound by relevant Supreme Court rulings.
Okay. All right.
I'm not sure why you're asking that. But
He's asking that question because he thinks forcing an admission about following Supreme Court precedent is some kind of victory. But it isn't at all. That argument completely misunderstands how the legal system works, because courts being bound by higher rulings isn't a weakness. It's the foundation of consistency and rule of law. Framing it as a gotcha moment is about as meaningful as asking a math professor whether addition and subtraction will be on a math exam. It's assumed, it's obvious, and it proves nothing except a lack of understanding of the subject being discussed.
All right, so if you would both raise your right hands. Very good. All right, Officer Kellums, if you would begin, please.
So on November 19th, 2024, I was on patrol for the Battle Creek Police Department when I observed the vehicle that Mr. Roosevelt was driving. I observed that it had expired tags on the vehicle. I then conducted a traffic stop on Fountain Street near Meacham Ave. Found Mr. Williams to be driving the vehicle, where I issued him the citations. When speaking with Mr. Williams, he could not provide insurance. and his tags were expired.
Okay. Do you happen to know when they expired?
I do not off the top of my head, sir.
Okay. What made you think they were expired? The wrong color and the wrong year on the plate itself, or some?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Did Mr. Williams say anything to you during the stop about having insurance or not having insurance, or anything about the tags on the plates, anything like that?
He informed me that he did not have to have insurance due to that he was traveling, and to drive a vehicle, you have to have insurance. Something regarding Supreme Court. That's about all he said.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to consider anything else at this point, Officer Kellums?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Williams, could you hear Officer Kellums' testimony?
Yes, I heard his testimony.
Very good. Thank you for your patience. What do I need to know, sir?
Okay, I did inform Officer Kelly that I am not operating a motor vehicle, but I am operating an automobile. I did inform Officer Kelly of the ruling of Rodriguez v. Ray Donovan, U.S. Department of Labor, 769 Federal 2nd, 1344, where the U.S. Supreme Court's decision has ruled that all codes, rules, and regulations are for government authorities only and not for human creators. In accordance with God laws, all codes, rules, and regulations are unconstitutional and lacking due process.
All right, I'm going to interrupt you just for a second. Are you telling me that a case at 769 Fed 2nd, 1344 indicates that all laws are unconstitutional?
All codes, rules, and regulations. Yes, sir. Rodriguez v. Ray Donovan. And if I'm not mistaken.
And you said that was Department of what?
U.S. Department of Labor.
Okay. U.S. Department of Labor doesn't publish decisions in the Fed 2nd. Can you tell me a little bit more about the case? What was that issue in the case?
It was regarding what we're discussing here, the requirements of a driver's license and the need when it's required to have one, stating that when you're not operating in commerce, to which I informed the officer that I am not operating in commerce as stated in USC 18 USCA 31 paragraph A6 states that a motor vehicle, the term of motor vehicle meaning every description of carriage, contrivance, propelled or drawn or mechanical powered and used for commercial purposes. This is what Title 18 USCA Section 31A6 states or defines as a motor vehicle, to which I am not operating in commerce.
This point comes up constantly, and since I haven't fully broken it down before, here's the short, clear version. Yes, 18 USC 831 does reference motor vehicles in the context of commerce, but the key detail people conveniently ignore is right in the opening line. It explicitly limits that definition to that specific chapter only. When you actually read the chapter instead of cherry-picking phrases, you'll find that only 2 sections even mention motor vehicle. A few others reference vehicle in entirely different contexts, and 1 section is about space vehicles, which obviously has nothing to do with cars, no matter how creatively someone wants to stretch reality.